Boredom. It's a very tricky subject because we all get bored sometimes in polite settings, in business meetings, and we have to find a way to navigate the boredom. That being said, sometimes boredom is a good thing. It's important to just be with yourself, to settle, to be at one with your thoughts. And meditation, not to be confused with boredom, is a really wonderful way to be more mindful and to find peace with your thoughts. But when you're faced with a boring situation, how do you cope? You will typically see common traits such as a glazed expression, yawning, or frequent checking of the watch if someone in your company is bored. I've heard stories about people accidentally pouring wine over themselves to escape a boring situation, or faking an emergency or a mobile phone call that they must take. There are always ways to change the dynamic. Why don't you talk about something that you find more interesting? Or ask that person questions about themselves and discover new things about them. I'm not particularly good with maths, so I don't enjoy talking about numbers at length. I find it rather dull. However, if I'm faced with, say, a financial professional who works in the city or works in the stock market, I can ask questions about how the stock market itself works, or how the financial services are governed or controlled. I can always find a way to find something interesting in perhaps a conversation that typically I would find quite dull. My biggest tip is that you should always listen. The more you can listen, the more you will engage and authentically have a positive and interesting conversation. Above all, be aware that a full conversation needs active participants of at least 2 people. So engage, listen to the other person, and I promise you'll find something interesting in the conversation. Have you ever been faced with a particularly boring situation that you couldn't get out of? What did you do?